It's kit unboxing day. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I will be unboxing the latest card kit from Simon Says Stamp and making 5 cards for your viewing pleasure. I've got a lot to cover today, so stick around. That video is coming up next. Commence the unboxing. All right, bag out here. It feels very sturdy. Let me get everything out so we can take a look. So let's take a look at the June 2024 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. This is called Sweet Birthday, and sweet appropriate. I'll set aside my charms pot for later if needed. You never know. All right, let's take a look at all the contents. First up, we have this beautiful 3D embossing folder, and this is called Winslow Medallions. That's a funky pattern. Very nice. All right, setting you aside. Okay, and check this out. You are going to get 3 individual Tim Holtz Distress watercolor pencils. Now, the colors will vary, and here I have Mowed Lawn, Wilted Violet, and Ground Espresso. So if you've never played with these pencils, that is kind of cool, and I'm actually kind of excited to use these. I have these pencils, but I haven't used them in a while, so we're going to set you little cuties aside. All right, you are going to get 2 sheets of the Simon Says Stamp A2 holographic lava cardstock. So that's got, you know what, that's got some stuff going on right there. That could be very fun here or to die cut from. And speaking of die cuts, you are going to get the Birthday Wishes die. Oh, that's really nice. I love it when the kits come with a greeting. Oh, and that's a really nice size too. Look at that. Look at that. That's a big birthday greeting. Is that? Yep, these are connected, and this has the shadow layer. All I'm going to have to do is clip them out with my clippers. Very fun. All right, love that. I'm going to set that over here. All right, there are some dies in here, and I'm not sure what these are for yet, so I'm going to put them underneath. I'm sure they go with the kit, which is really fun, but let's take a look at the papers in this kit. You're going to get 12 double-sided sheets of Pink Fresh Studio Picture Perfect 6x6 pattern paper. Okay, that's fun to get Pink Fresh. So let's flip through and take a look at the papers. That's very cute. Very happy little colors. Ooh, ooh, I like this. What a fresh, fun pattern set. That is cool. Oh, I do love the pattern papers. Look at that. Now, of course, when they're double-sided, that's pretty. You have to make that choice, right? Which side are you going to sacrifice? But I think, you know, it's only paper, and you gotta make your choices. Look at those. Little pieces you could just cut out and turn into elements on a card. Oh, that's cute. Look at that stripe. Love it. All right. And it's very heavy cardstock. I don't know what the weight is on this, but wow, it's really sturdy. Like this is not your grandma's pattern paper. That is beautiful. Love that. All right. Look at these patterns. They're wonderful. Oh, super cute. Huh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at that paper. That, my friends, that's a goodie. That's a keeper. Oh, they're all keepers. That's a great set of pattern paper. All right. Setting you aside. Now, we have the namesake stamp set. This is called Sweet Birthday, and I'm going to flip this over in a minute. I just want to make sure that we have the Simon Says Stamp Sweet Birthday Treat die. So this is going to go, I'm assuming, with this, which is, again, awesome. So let's flip it over, and let's take a look at this set. Oh, that's a birthday conglomeration. So we've got all of these greetings, wishing you the very best. May you feel celebrated 1 year older and wiser. Thanks for being born to the sweetest person. Let's celebrate you and from all of us. And then we have our happy and birthday. We have happy birthday, happy wishes, birthday wishes, it's your birthday, so a fun little script. And then we've got our little sweet treats. And I would assume We'll take a look at this. I love getting the die in the set. We have things to cut out the candles. Yes, yes, because who wants to fussy cut that? And then we have that cup, no, this one down here to cut out the cupcake, and this one. So you do get dies to cut some of the pieces out. And that's always fun, just to give you a feel. Now, there are other dies for this set that you can add on. I do have those today that I can work into this, but I will keep those aside until I'm ready. So let's, oh, that's awesome. Let's put this aside and let's take a quick look at the papers. For our cardstock today, we have one sheet of Simon Says Stamp Surf Blue, one sheet of the Simon Dull Pink. Oh, I love that pink. And one sheet of the Nina Solar White. That is the Classic Crest brand and 110 pounds. So that's a beautiful palette. Of course, that's going to look great with this paper. I mean, can we just go back to that? Yeah, I need to really think about that because I don't want to mess that one up. We have our stamps, really awesome birthday set. We have our birthday wishes die. This is a really great birthday set. Holographic, these guys. All right, now, as I am wont to do, I will percolate and we'll get started with card number 1. For the first card, I have an idea that may or may not work because, well, we'll see when we get there, but I'm going to take a piece of pattern paper and I'm actually just going to take this very first piece off. Oh, I don't want to bend anything. There we go. And I am going to, we'll see, I'm going to take the base for this, right? And I'm going to cut it out of part of this pattern. So that's one part. Then I'm going to take a little piece of the white cardstock and I'm going to stamp the top. Well, let's get this guy out. This one here, the one that I have the coordinating die for, I'm going to put you there. And do I want to do I probably could do a candle. I'll do both candles just in case I decide we're going to add that on. Although these could look so cute in gold. You know what? Let's wait on the candles. Just not sure yet. All right. So I am going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black. I don't know if I'm going to color this or not. Part of me thinks I'm not going to. Because I just think, oh, by the way, I'm just priming this with my finger. I'm just not sure because if this works the way I think it will, I might not have to. Oh, I forgot. I recently re-inked my Memento pad. It's very nice and juicy. Press. I'm going to hit it a few times because I don't want to squish too hard, right? I just want to get a nice little guy like that. And get it nice and inky. And that looks great. All right, so let's grab these dies and I'll go ahead and cut these out. I'm going to save as much of this paper as I can, so I'm just going to go right like this. Oh, it's such good sturdy paper. And make sure that that goes here. That way I can just kind of frame out the cupcake base the way I think it should look. All right, how does that look? Is that lined up there pretty well? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll cut both of these out. I'll run them through my machine. So I will show you something that I found recently when I was cleaning. I have one of those magnetic bowls. I'm like, oh, I could use those to keep things while I'm working. Okay, pick that up with my little, you've seen me use my little nail polish magnet. And this guy too, like that. And yeah, I found this in a drawer. The thing is, it actually sticks to my magnetic table too, but I'm gonna give it a try again. All right, so I trimmed that down and I trimmed this down. And now here's what I want to see. Like, will this look cute just on a little piece like this, where it's just a little cupcake? That is the question. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm going to move on. I feel like now that I've seen it, I think it does need the stamp. So I'm going to put this just for that detail, right? It's kind of missing something. So I'm going to try to salvage this by doing it this way. And we'll see. This could be really weird or it could be really great. Either way, I'm going to have to put this right back in. Okay. Get you there. And I'll redo it if I have to, but I just thought, you know what? I think it does need the detail. Okay. That. Bring it down. Stamp. Oh, yes. See, that gives it more of a cupcakey base. Okay. All right, look at that. I didn't mess it up. Okay. Like I said, you just never know what's going to happen in an unboxing video. So that looks good. Up we go. And now also, it gives me more of a framework and a design to this. All right, moving on. I'm going to bring in 2 candles and I'm going to stamp these and emboss them in gold. And you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to do both of them and just take, whichever one works best. Pick you up like that. All right. Take my anti-static powder and let me grab my embossing ink. Take my Simon embossing ink, tap that on. I don't want to press real hard because I don't want these to get too squishy. So I'm only stamping one time. And then I'm going to put some gold powder on here. Okay. Pick that up. And we're going to add some ultrafine gold powder to our candles. Just for some little gold friends. Oh my, I was handling this paper a lot. Look at that. Look at where my fingers were. Yeah, I'll brush that away. I mean, the candle's stamped great. All right, now they're ready. Okay, let me get my heat tool warmed up to melt this, and then I have an idea for the panel of the card. All right, those are cute and shiny. And you know what? Okay, as I'm looking at this, I just had an idea to redo it where I stamp and emboss in gold on both of them. So hold tight. I'm going to do that off camera. It just comes to me. I know what I'm doing. Highly trained professional. 5 minutes later. I just feel like having this in with gold embossing on it is prettier than the black. And now I cut out birthday wishes. It is 2 pieces. That I didn't realize. And of course there's the shadow layer, which I got some ink on. Hopefully this will work, but what I'm going to do here is just use my, I recently forgot that I have grip mat and you can put things on and glue on here. And this is a really nice surface to glue on. So I'm going to get these glued together with this Connect glue so that I have a nice layer of dimension. I did save the little dots over the eyes. There are 2 eyes in this word. And I'll get this all glued together and then we will lay out the final card design. I did want to show you one thing that I'm going to do, and that is this. I'm going to figure out, that's going to pop in my cupcake right about there. And so I want to have this have a little support at the top. And so I'm going to do that with cardstock like that. I cut out one more layer here of the cupcake, and then I'm just going to glue it to the top. Because I want to have foam squares, I have thin foam squares on the back here. I just want to have corresponding dimension. So if I do that, right, that is going to be a better level that I can put a foam square on, and it should work. Well, it should work really similarly. So let me glue this first into place. Actually, you know what? I'll take a little foam square and just go right there, because then sometimes you gotta, you gotta figure out your dimensions. All right, that'll work. Okay, little glue. We'll just adhere this right into the cupcake liner. I'd like to see some of that, so I'm going to come right about there, and I'll let that adhere. So I'm going to make my note card, and I have one more idea that may or may not be fun, and if I don't like it, I just won't use this paper. I'll use it for something else. You know what I mean? Like I'll use it for, I don't know, die cuts. But what I thought could be cute, I'm going to bring my Misty in here, and let's just say that's the front of our card, okay? Because this greeting is quite large, right? It takes up quite a bit of space. Now I know it's kind of hard to see the fold area up here, but I'm going to position this. I think it would be cute to be a little more off center, okay? Birthday wishes. The candle's going to get tucked under there. And I thought it would be fun to incorporate this little stamp to celebrate, right? So I could put a little off to one side and a little below, but I don't want to emboss on my card. I think it would be fun to just do, well, maybe like one here coming out here, like that, okay? Picking it up. This is crazy, I know, right? All these things are coming up with it, but what I'm going to do is stamp it in pink. The Rainbow Splash Ballet. This ballet it's pronounced. Oh my gosh, this card is going on entirely too long, but that happens sometimes. Okay, we're just going to do this, and we're just going to do a light drop like that. Going to clean off the stamp, and it's going to dry back really nicely. And I just wanted something for some texture, right? So we've got that and that. Okay, and that's coming in here. Just again, want to get my positioning right. And then I am going to place it back over here, probably like that. Okay, just for that little just for something coming down in a fun pattern. Okay, pick it up, and it was a little damp, but that's okay. It'll dry. And now I have a little pattern for the background of my panel. So I'll clean this up, and then we will put this card together. You know, sometimes cards take a little longer than I think they're going to take, and I never know until I get into the first card. And I thought this was going to be so quick, but this is going to be cute. I'm going to tape this closed. I just got pink ink over here too. Oh, Cathy. Well, you know what? I think it's fine. Did I have it on my hands? Probably. Gosh. Okay. But see, birthday wishes in here. Ignore my pink ink that's over there. Okay. And then this little guy is going to go up top like that. Okay. You know what? I actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think that gold would be better. Oh, let me get a gold panel. The first one out of the gate, we just got to think about this. I had to do it. I changed my mind. I embossed the same design. I think it's better on gold. I think this is a really elegant card now, and it makes a difference. Oh, is that my hair? That's my hair. And I just want to get this placement right. I also put a couple layers behind of cardstock with the candle. That's what we're looking for right there. So the first card, we spent a lot of time, but normally if I weren't trying to squeeze 5 cards into an hour-long video, I wouldn't worry about it. The next card's going to be a lot simpler, but I really wanted to do the cupcake liner in patterned paper. I think that's really cute. So that really was the, what do you call the impetus for this? So we're almost there, and then we're going to move on. Oh, thanks for sticking with me from card 1, but I love that little pattern. Like, that's just a cute little fun builder, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So I am going to pop that about in the center of the card. Oh gosh, my tweezers are super sticky, so maybe I should clean them before I do this again. I'm going to bring in this because it is not very straight. and I can line that up on the shadow layer like that. That's why we like our liquid glue. Bring in that T-square and press, and then we'll just place our cupcake. I don't think I need liquid glue for that. I think we'll just go right there, right over the, kind of where the little dip down is. I like the off center. I think it's very cute. And we will use the liquid glue. Get you right in there. And I'm not going to put any bling. I think this is really cute just on its own. Although I could, and now there's my hair again. When I say that, then as soon as I start placing things down, I think, oh, but what if I did do that? All right, let's get you in there. Right in the center. Come on now. There we go. I'm having trouble with my tweezer dexterity today, but I want that to be right in the center. Like that. Okay. Now, I think that's cute on its own. There's lots of shine in it. Yeah, I don't know if I do need any bling. Hold tight. I actually think having 5 pearls on there, the gold foil pearls, is actually really nice. I don't know when to say when apparently today, but there we go. Boop. Boop just adds a little interest, right? A little boop dimension and texture. Come on now. Boop. And the last one is right. Boop. There. And that's the card project. I think the end result is super fun. Took a while to get there. Let's move on. For card 2, we are saving some time. I went ahead and stamped "Let's Celebrate You" and the little lolly just in the gold. So this is the ultrafine gold. I used my sentiment label die, this one right here, to trim it out and notched it with that die. Now what I want to do is take this paper, get as close to the edge as I can, because I think literally all I'm going to do is pop this up over the center. And here's what I need. I need to figure out the panel size that I want, because I think I want this to be small and over to the side, because then I save some of this paper. And that's basically it. Isn't it cute? Okay, let me cut this out, and I'm going to do one little extra thing on here, and then we're going to finish the card. I'm going to add a little gold splatter all over the card, well, the panel, because this is a heavyweight paper. And so I'm going to take a little bit of my gilded. I'm just going to put it right here on my mat. You don't need much. This stuff really does last for quite a while. I have a very inexpensive No. 2 Zen Royal and Langnickel brush, right that. And then I'm just going to go a little heavier off across. That's it. Very simple, just for a little added shine. All right. So I'll let that dry completely before I finish the card. I've got some Big Mama foam tape on the back of this panel, and I'm just going to look straight down over here and get it so we have this big, generous, I don't know, what is it, about a ½ inch margin? Oh, I like that. Okay, and press. So now you can see here, we have just that little extra shine that's added to the card. And now all I'm going to do, this is going to go right smack dab on here. I actually cut out 2 layers. Now I do have the die for this. They are sold separately because I got them and I'm like, hey, if I don't have to fussy cut, you know what? That's what's fun about having the dies. I know some people do enjoy fussy cutting, but some people call it cussy cutting because it can be very frustrating. I think you know who you are out there, right? I have done fairly well with fussy cutting, but here we're just going to pop this right in the center like that. Oh, I think it's so cute. I just wanted to use this paper. This card I already like so much. I just think that's so cute. All right, so I'm going to put one of my bricks on here and just press that. And then I've got some foam squares on the back here. I'm just going to take them off. And I'm just going to put this a little bit lower on the card well, not, you'll see what I mean. I wanted this to be, I didn't want it to be like this. I actually want it to be right here at an angle so that we're just about centered with this piece here. Yep, and that's what I want for my card. Oh. And that's it. I'm not, because it's got that little bit of shine, that little surprise there when it catches the light, and just this big wide margin. That's card 2. We were in and out. Moving on. For card 3, I have a thought. First things first, I'm going to use 2 different die cut machines because I know I like my magnet pad here, but what I'm going to be doing is embossing this pattern after I cut this out. Now, I have the thought to make a shaker. It could work. You never know. I think that looks pretty straight, right? You know, we're cutting out the window. So let's do that, and I'll cut this out. So I'm going to be using my Intracut, and I'm going to set this to 3D emboss. You change all of your settings on the side, and I'm going to go down to -5 because -5 is the perfect setting for the Simon Says Stamp 3D folders. And I'm going to emboss this pattern into here. Also, I can save this for a really funky shadow layer, so I'm going to pop that in the box with the rest of my kit pieces. All right, here's where you want to make sure that you are pressing your pattern up. So you want to make sure that the bumpy side that feels more textural is lined up, because what we're going to do is we're just going to press this pattern in. I mean, it could look wonky, I don't know, but this is why we try things, okay? So pattern is pressing up. We are keeping it pretty linear. We cover. It's probably going to be great. Now here's the thing. I need my plate, but I will not be using the cutting pad at all. And I'll go folded side first, and we're just going to run that through the machine. And of course, the machine sticks to the table, which is really nice. And now when this comes out, you will see my lovely pattern. Oh my gosh, that is just so crazy. See, and I wanted to die cut it first just so that I didn't smash this out. That is kind of next level. All right, I'm going to get some acetate to put on the back of this to create my shaker window. And I guess while I'm here, I should probably cut out, well, I'll cut out the happy birthday greeting off camera. I will show you though, this is my little pouch of acetate, and I've got, it's a little messy in here, but I'll just go ahead and cut a piece down to size, and then I'm just going to tape it to the back with some Simon Says Stamp Terrific tape. That way I'll have a window. Actually, I can show you this too because it's pretty easy to do. This tape is super sticky, so I'll just do that, 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 and yeah, I'm not the smoothest. I'm not the smoothest. Sometimes I just prefer to cut it. I'm terrible at tearing. Tearing's not really my thing. So there's that. So these will all get released, and then that will hold my shaker window in place. All right. Just like that. And I'm not even worried about the outside. I'm just going to say, you know, like closer to the edges. I'm just going to pop that down. And now I have a window for my shaker. All right, moving on. I am almost, well, I'm getting down on these, but I really love this product that I'm about to show you. These are the Gina K Designs shaker strips, and they are so great for making a shaker. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right to the edge. I'm going to seal off. You just want to make sure there's no exit points for your shaker material, right? So that's why I keep every little loving piece. I'm going to cut that too. Oh, cut so well, it goes shooting across the room. All right, we're going to go like that because I don't want it, I want my shaker to stop at a certain point. So I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom, but you just want to make sure that you press it right up against, right, like that. Okay, that's probably good enough. And then I'm going to take this little bit over here and just cut some off and hopefully make it fit. All right, you go there and you come right up here like that. So now this part will be nicely sealed, and now I can just take a few more pieces to put some on the outside because I'm going to drop the backer on, but I haven't decided what color the backer is going to be. But see how you just kind of build it up? And this is why you're going to go through some shaker strip, right? Because this all has to be supported. Gosh, I haven't even figured out what if I'm going to do the greeting in the holographic. We shall see, but right now I think we're good. So now that has all the support that it needs. All it needs now is a greeting, a backdrop, and some fill. I think that white type is going to be the best on this. And see how now I have that nice window? But here's what I'm going to do first. I am going to make my shaker, and this is going to go on a white note card, right? Because I think that is going to just be fantastic. There's just so much color in the, the holographic stuff. So I've already cut a backer. See how that looks like that? It's going to be just the right size to cover everything. I guess I could come in a little more, but I think that's going to be great. I'm going to use all of what I have in here, and I do have more if I need it. And I don't know if I do, but I bought another pack. Oh, now I'm throwing them all over the place. I bought another pack of this, so I like to keep it on hand because, if you're going to do a shaker, you like to have a lot in there, but I actually think that's going to be enough. So now let's get you guys back in here. I have to carefully take off the backers, and you really do need to be careful with this once you start revealing them, because every time you vibrate the piece, it can start to bounce your sequins right out. Oops, just like that, right out into your strips. All right, so I'm just going to say, hold that down. That's usually what I do. I release one, and then I hold it in place. This is riveting. Okay, I'll speed this, or I'll just skip to when they're all off. How's that sound? Okay, and now I just take my panel. This is just some 80-pound cardstock. You could do any color you wanted. My head's going to get in the way here just for a second. And press. And that way, we're all lined up. Everything's covered. And now we have our little bit of shaker fill in the back. Oh, that's just so much. Okay, now I will take some liquid glue on this part. I could use like a double stick tape here too, but the reason I like the liquid glue, it just gives me that little float time, right? And make sure the fold is at the top, and make sure this part too, which I'm pretty sure I have it oriented correctly. And I'll just pop this right down here, wiggle that into place. So that has a beautiful white margin all the way around. Yeah, that looks good. And press. I'll add some liquid glue to those so we can add the greeting. All right, I've put my liquid glue on the back of the first part. I just really want to nail this landing because, and I hope these aren't too sticky, I just don't want to be wiggling this around much. Once you get it in, you kind of want it just to stay where it is. So this part and this part go right there. Let go and drop down. That should be pretty easy, but I do have to kind of hold it in place. So I'll put my little block on that. I don't know what's on there. What is that? And just press that down. And again, I'm just going to hold those little pieces down to make sure they stay. But that framed it out so nicely, and I was actually a little worried. I was worried that when we embossed it, it might change the shape of the opening, but it really didn't. That looks really good. All right, so I will press these on again. I just want to make sure the glue is really adhering. And now we can go ahead and add I know they're here somewhere, the little dots over the eyes. Now, if you wanted to, you could build up dimension on this. I'm going to keep it, well, that's probably too much right there. We're going to let it get a little tacky. I think I'm going to keep it really simple and not build up the dimension because I think this really shows up well. But I may change my mind by the time I take a photo. You never know. Okay, so then we take this little friend and pop it there. Boop, like that. And this little eye dot tittle and right there. Actually, that could come down just a little like that. And that is all we're doing on this card. So you can see it has all that shine and like it's almost blinding, but it's got the great texture. Zoom in here. I mean, look at how the color shifts. I think that is so cool. I mean, it just looks like a stamped out metal plate, and yet it's a shaker, right? You've got some things shaking and happening in there. That's a party in a card. All right, moving on. For the next card, I went ahead and I stamped and I cut out 5 macaroons. They're macaroons, right? Macaroons. But I will tell you, I did have the add-on die set because if I had fussy cut these, they would not have looked like that. So let's just imagine that I have the best fussy cutting skills ever. I also went ahead and made my pink note card and pulled out this paper. Now, that's as far as I've gotten, but I thought to myself, I would like to pull in another die from my collection, this little scallop and stitch die from Gina K Designs. I thought it would be cute to cut a panel out here just for something to have a little more detail. And I'm going to do that real quick off camera and show you what I have in mind. All right, pick that up. Now this has the cute little scallop, right? And that is very cute. And what I might do is come up with an arrangement. Now I may trim this card though. That's what I'm not sure. I may do some trimming because I want to have a little gathering across the bottom of the macaroons, so that they both kind of come out like that. So I'm actually going to trim the bottom off, but before I do that, meaning I want this to be the upper frame. I need to pick out the greeting that I'm going to use for this, and I have a couple options here. I thought sweet birthday wishes in a little square would be cute, or a little banner flag, but also to the sweetest person. So let me get some, I think I'm going to get some black cardstock, so hold tight. So I'm going to do all of these 3. I am not 100% sure yet how this is going to look, but I do know this is my Simon Says Stamp black cardstock. I'm going to prime these up a bit and slide this up here, and I'm going to grab my anti-static powder. Okay. Oh, what is underneath here? Oh, it's not really stuck down all the way. All right. I really want to powder this up. It's getting all over my mat, because we are just going to do this sort of a one and done. I'm going to ink this up. Well, maybe not a total one and done. That is something. I think something's on my mat because it doesn't feel like it's sticking, meaning my grip mat. But we'll see. Let's do the best we can here. Okay, and transfer. Okay, sweetest person, and I'm just going to hold this so that it transfers nicely. I think this is going to be good to be. Oh, that looks fantastic. Okay, so wipe you guys off like that. And let me grab my folded piece of paper so I can add my white powder. I've got my Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White, and we are going to put this on and hope that I powdered it up well enough so the other, so the powder will fly off, but we'll just let it sit for a second here. And, oh yeah, that did good. I mean, I can see where my other little bits of embossing or anti-static powder are, but I think that will be good. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit before I heat the powder. One of my angled shaders, and get some of the, oh, I'm blowing the macaroons all over the place. Just some of the excess powder. There's a little piece right there that I don't want. There we go. I tell you, these brushes are great because, well, I have a big one. This one is the 3/8 inch, and then I have a small one too. Sometimes I just grab the one I grab. I actually really like the small one too. it's very firm, and so that's what I like about it. All right, I'm going to grab my heat tool and we'll melt the powder. I think I'm gonna do my positioning of what I would like to have this all look like, and then I can figure out the cut that I need to make. I'm gonna take, I guess that much, some of my Easy C tape, nice and low tack, like that, and then I can pick it up and I can just sort of say, all right, where's a pencil? I need a pencil. I am going to just kind of draw the line that I think it should be cut on. How's that? Because if I do that, yep. All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm cutting right here because I want this to be ending in the macaroons. Okay, just like that. And that becomes the bottom of the card. Isn't that fun? Okay, it's gonna work. Now, this is cool. I am going to buff this off. Now here's a little hot tip, a little pro tip. You know how sometimes the powder can seem like it's hard to get off on black cardstock? Use your fingers. Because you know why we use anti-static powder, right? It's to keep the oils off of the cardstock. However, you know, once you've embossed, then you can go for it. And so you can use your like a Swiffer, any cloth will work, but I find that this combined with the oils in my hand are really great for figuring all of this out. So what I'm going to do is grab my sentiment label dies. I will cut each of these little pieces out, and then I will try to decide how this greeting is going to look on the card. I want to put just a little tape right along the edge here like this, because I love not doing this right on my surface. Then what we can do is pick this up, get that out of the way for now. I just want to get my general placement. All right, so you have that, and you have these little friends that are gonna go right about here, okay? And I'm gonna press, because then this is kind of all just glued together, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put foam tape on the back. All right, so now that's gonna be there. And I can go ahead and just gently, jewels not tools, lift up, come on, and just, oh, it tore. No, you're not supposed to tear. Oh my gosh, I've never seen Easy C tape tear in my life. That is a shocker. Wonder why it tore on that one and none of the others. Well, you know what? Doesn't matter. Still looks like a macaron. Macaroon. I am so sorry. Okay, that's so weird. I have never, ever had it tear. Well, there's a first for everything. So now when this gets popped down, and I'm going to put a little bit more down here at the bases, all right, for that little extra support. All right, there. Because you know what they say, support can be beautiful. Okay. I think I'll just stick you in there because I don't think I need that right there. Okay, no, I do. All right, one more little tiny piece. Right there. Beautiful. I know, it's a lot, but I really think this is going to be cute. So what I'm going to do is pop this down, get all the backers off. And then we are going to pop this down right onto the note card. I'm just going to stand up to make sure the three sides are the sides that I care about most, not to the bottom. So I want that. Ooh, this feels very different for me. Okay, I'm going to trim down the happy birthdays. Just use my paper trimmer for this because this is easier for me. We get the far letter right over the line there just a little bit. Right over the line just a bit. And then you have it nicely trimmed from side to side, which I enjoy. Again, I don't know if I'm using all of these. I haven't decided, but I might. All right, and just over the line. So we have, I mean, it could be cute just to have it be a little angle. Oh, I think this is really graphic and fun and different for me. Okay, we're gonna get a little closer. We're gonna split that right there. Well, yeah, like that. Maybe a tiny bit more. I like it to be almost the same top to bottom and side to side. So get you in here and cut. So that may or may not be used. Can't decide yet, but I know I'm gonna pop some things up. I actually think that's really cute. Pop of color, these guys here, a nice angle for all of the things. All right, I'm gonna put some foam squares on these and we're gonna get them right in place. That happy is gonna go right there. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, and now I know I'll just figure out the rest, because see how this one juts out that way, this one juts out that way. My only job is to get them lined up. So more foam squares and we'll do the rest. I'm gonna come over here and just drop it and drop it right there. Even though I messed that up, I could actually get a pen and go in there, but you know what? I'm not going to. I'm gonna say, lesson learned, always just use, always use, what is it called? Post-it tape. Post-it tape is my friend. I don't know why I decided to use the Easy C, but again, is that off too? No, it's not. I've never, ever seen it tear anything. So that's unusual. So maybe I say I would use it again, and that's just a freak of nature. Oh, like that. Let go. Wiggle. That's what the liquid glue lets us do. Where's my brick? Where did you go? Now I can't find you. I will put something on that and we will move on. I don't think this needs it, but I'm kind of obsessed with this Warm Tones Positively Dazzling Gems. It was in a kit, last month's kit, and I absolutely love them. So I'm just gonna kind of get this out of the way, pick these tones up, because they all show up, you know, the kind of purpley, boop. Get you there, and boop. Okay, pick you up and boop. A little darker one up there, boop. And you down here, boop. Just for a little shine. I'm actually gonna scrape a little extra glue off here because I don't want to see that there. And that is the finished card project. This feels so different for me, and I kind of love it. Like, this is just, I love it. I think it's so funky and graphic and really fun. And now I'm going to take a little break and we're going to create the final card. For the final card, I am going to try something with these. Now, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to these, but I'm gonna try something. Now, I pulled a piece from my stash of Tim Holtz watercolor distress cardstock because I'm going to use water on this. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color a little brown like that. I'm going to color some purple like that. You can kind of see that good texture, right? And then I'm going to color some green because these are the colors that showed up in my bag. Okay, so I have Mowed Lawn, Wilted Violet, and Espresso. All right, so we got that. Now, help me. I have a water pen. I have this water brush, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out up here by adding some liquid into this green. See how it starts to melt and move and do kind of cool things? Look at that. Getting that cool color. I'm just creating something funky for my card. Okay, I'm going to blend into the purple, and that should not get too muddy. It might get a little muddy, so I'm going to get some of that out. And then come in here like this. I'm just using it to create a swatch of color here on the panel, right? Going like that. And then this brown, which is, you know, it's kind of funky. I'm not really a brown person with colors, but actually that's kind of neat, right? So we're just gonna swatch in, just kind of swishy, swishy, like that, okay? I have now created, and I don't even know what I'm doing with it yet, but I'm going to, you know what? I think I'm gonna swoosh this out a bit, right? Get it wet some more. And just sort of get it a little, what does Tim Holtz call it when you kind of, there's a term where you're kind of making it go out a little more. Now, again, I'm not sure yet what's going to happen with this, but I wanted to show you how these can work, right? You can use them just like painting, and again, squeeze till you get clear water, and then I'll just shore that out. It's not, the word's not shore. Why can't I think of it? If you can remember that word, shear it out. It's shear it out. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. I am going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to stamp on top of this. I'm going to pick this friend up like this. And I'm going to use a really inky ink. This is a pigment ink. This is relatively new to me. This is the Altenew Obsidian. And I want it to be nice and inky because I am stamping it onto a textured cardstock, right? Oh, that looks great. Okay. And again, I hope to show you that even with a brown, we're going to make something funky. Well, I don't, we'll have to see. Okay, so that is very nice. Very nice. I am actually going to clean this with a little bit of my Simon Says Stamp Ultra Clean because pigment ink is a little harder to get off. And so if you use the scrubber, it comes off pretty well. All right, I like that. Great. Pick that up. Yeah, that looks pretty clean. Do I want to do sort of a cool birthday wishes, or do I want to do the graphic happy birthday? I feel like I want to go with this bold look like that, okay? Pick it up. Again, I've got this stuck to my grip mat, and I'm gonna ink it up with the obsidian and bring it down and press. Oh, that looks good. Look at how inky that is. Wow, that does not even need another pass, does it? No, that's pretty great, okay? That looks really straight. All right, pick you up. Again, hold that down and ink up and bring it down and press. Just give that a second to transfer. Oh, that looks so good. That's super inky. Like that. I am going to put From All of Us at the bottom. I think that's cute. Oh, yep, that looks great. All right, now I'll move on. I am going to trim this down just to the edge here to get it as close to center as possible. And this will trim to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to drop a frame on top of it, I think. We'll see. We'll see how this looks. I need it to be lined up right on the edge here. And because it's thicker, I'm going to cut it with a shim. I've got my magnetic plate, my shim, and my plate. And I'm going to run it. That's the sandwich that I'm going to run through. And it also helps to flatten it out. So let me get these glued together and glue those frames on and get my note card ready. And I just pulled in my A2 nesting frames. This is a newer die set in my collection that I've been trying to remember that I can use. And I'm just going to take a little liquid glue here and stack these frames together. And pop you down and line you up. Could probably have done that in my, oh, what is it called? My score buddy, where I like to line things up, but also you can just kind of work your way around, hold it, Make sure it looks straight and then press like that, okay? And make sure that's adhered. And then I think too, let's see, pick this up. I don't want to get glue on my fingers. Oh, there we go. You know what? There are worse things. There are worse things that can happen than glue on your fingers. So we're just going to drop it right about where we can see all three sides. And, ooh, not quite there. Over here, like that. That's pretty good. Look at me. Okay. Press those down. Keep it as straight as I can get it. It might be a little off over here, but that's okay. I still think it's kind of a cool look to get those in. And I'm just going to actually put my plates on here and press. I only had one piece of cardstock in the white left, so I made a side fold. I don't do side fold cards very often, or book fold, but I'm going to tape this down too, just because I need it to be flat while I'm adhering. There we go. Okay, so then I've got my Big Mama foam tape on the back. I will release all the backers. And we'll pop this down onto the note card. Let me stand up here. Forgive the fuzzy head if it gets in the way. I just thought white would look nice because then it brightens up and it doesn't get too dark. And that. See, I think that looks pretty cool. And I don't think I'm going to put any bling or anything on it. I just kind of wanted to make more of a neutral card that's just using, right, these three. And again, you might get different ones in your kit, but I haven't done a ton with the Distress watercolor pencils, but this reminds me how easy it is to just scribble something on, stamp, pop it on a note card, and you are done. All right, let's take a look at all the cards I created in today's video. Here's a look at the 5 finished cards, and I think this is really cool today because I think there are a lot of different things represented. Let's start with a review of card 1. Zoom in here just a little. Now this one took the longest because I had changes of heart, right? I did a few things and wasn't sure if I liked what I was doing, but I do like the idea of pattern paper cupcake liners, all this gold, and then doing this stamped pattern from the set in the gold. I think just makes it a really nice, elegant card. I like how that turned out. For card 2, very simple, but then you get that little bit of shimmer surprise, right? And again, anytime you have a gorgeous pattern paper like this, you know what? Put it to use, make a panel, frame it out with all this white space. It makes it very elegant and really shows it off, even though this is a super simple design and there is no coloring on any of my images today, which, well, you know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think this is kind of a stunner. I mean, look at the way it throws the light. Look at the texture. Oh. And it's a shaker, so you got a lot going on here. And that embossing folder is a beautiful pattern. I love how that turned out. And again, the white green is very reserved almost, but I think it packs a punch. And I think that is a beautiful birthday card. Okay, now we get funky at the bottom, but I think this is so cool. I've never done a card like this. I don't know who I am right now, but I have to tell you, I think it's really cool, right? Again, maybe you don't want to color the sweet treats and you're more comfortable just doing some pattern paper. This is a fun way to play with these types of images, right? You don't have to color everything all the time. I have colored nothing today, so that was what I chose to do, but I really love how this turned out, even with my little mucky muck. And again, I could go in with the pen, but I'm not going to risk it because my pen skills, they're just not that great. I really love how that turned out. And then the last card, let's just make something messy. Stamp over it, stamp over that, throw on a little frame and a little black spatter, and you have a really simple, funky graphic birthday card as well. So those are the 5 cards, and I hope this inspires you today to check out this kit. It's really fun birthday kit, and there is a lot of celebratory goodness packed within. To To learn more about the Simon Says Stamp card kit, check out the link in my description and be sure to visit my blog post as well, where I'm going to have more photos and details about all the cards I created in today's video. You can sign up today and start with this kit while supplies last. There is no long-term obligation, and you can even skip monthly kits if they do not appeal to your aesthetic. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell as well so that you don't miss the next time I post. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate every single one. I'll see you back here with more card projects soon.